November 14th, emergency hearing the day after the fake sale in Houston. Elon Musk X Corp entered the case with a lawsuit within it to defend the right of X to not have private handles of people like Alex Jones stripped away. It violates the 13th Amendment against slavery. There are so many issues. And today they filed a major brief in the case.
Elon Musk has filed a new motion to block The Onion from buying Infowars. Here are some details of the motion. X, in a Monday court filing, argued that its users don't own their accounts, and those accounts can't be sold or transferred to a third party without X's permission. While X acknowledged that users own the content they post, the company's argument could have significant ramifications for the site's millions of users. X Corp's terms of service make clear that it owns the X accounts, as the TOS is explicit that X Corp merely grants its users a non-exclusive license to use their accounts, the company told a federal judge in Texas. As of now, the judge still needs to rule on the sale, and he said he may hold an evidentiary hearing next month. Bankruptcy judge Christopher Lopez in Houston clarified that the sale remains in limbo until such a hearing when interested parties can make their case and he can decide which of Jones's assets, if any, can be sold. He also declined to immediately rule on Jones's request for a temporary restraining order to disqualify the Onion's bid and said whatever was status quo pre-auction remains status quo, essentially allowing Alex Jones to remain broadcasting from his flagship platform, Infowars, for the time being. So Elon Musk inserting himself to save a fellow right-winger isn't very surprising at all, but an article in 404 Media points out that this just goes to show you don't actually own your social media accounts and companies can do whatever they want with them. Here's an excerpt from the piece. It says, the legal basis that X asserts in the filing is not terribly interesting. But what is interesting is that X has decided to involve itself at all. And it highlights that you do not own your followers or your account or anything at all on corporate social media. And it also highlights the fact that Elon Musk's X is primarily a political project he is using to boost or stifle specific viewpoints and help his friends. In the filing, X's lawyers essentially say, like many other software companies and increasingly device manufacturers as well, that the company's terms of service grant X's users a license to use the platform, but that ultimately X owns all accounts on the social network and can do anything that it wants with them. X accounts are transferred in bankruptcy all the time with no drama and with no objection from X. Okay. This is the world we live in where, we don't really own anything anymore. And that's kind of a thing that you have to expect. Whenever you're using a social media platform, you are very much at the whim and the behest of these big corporate owners, these billionaires who own all of these platforms, right? Even before Elon Musk took over, whoever was in charge of these big platforms, whether it's Facebook or Meta, Instagram, TikTok, whatever, Twitter from before, whatever they decide to do with their platform, you have to deal with it. Whatever changes they make, you have to deal with it. Whatever changes to the algorithm they make, you have to learn how to adapt to it. So there's a lot going on that we have no control over, even though the idea of social media is that we get to have our own platforms and we get to reach people on our own and, make all these inroads and do what we want with our own content. To a certain extent, yes, but at the end of the day, no, not really. What if they don't want us doing something, we're not going to be able to do it. Especially, your account can become deactivated if enough people report it or for whatever reason, really. Sharon, what do you make of this in the age of social media, especially from a media perspective? Because we both work in media and social media to an extent is a part of that.
Yeah, what people need to understand though is that we are in a time where we're encouraged to share our lives, our personal lives, every aspect, our jobs, our kids, everything. And it's being used and co-opted for AI and personal use and lists and whatever else people like Elon Musk can dream up. As far as the Onion goes, I thought that was a brilliant purchase and putting to good use. What Alex Jones was doing was trash. So I hope that this Elon Musk, who has permeated, it seems like, every aspect of our lives, okay, as I just referenced the social media and how we put it all out there, but people just need to understand the deal. And the problem is it's so convoluted and there's so much fine print that it's an issue. And I don't know that we're going to get around it because, of course, those people in Washington have done nothing to protect our existence. They're stealing our existence.
Yeah, yeah, and we're letting them, right? It's like what we were talking about earlier as far as what we tolerate and what we're willing to do. And a lot of people will just kind of like acquiesce to whatever is the status quo, whatever is the new thing that people are doing. And there's a lot of people who are skeptical of these things. A lot of people are leaving X now. Millions and millions of people every day are leaving that platform, opting for something else. But, unfortunately, the other thing that if you jump from one thing to another, you're just going from one billionaire owned platform to another one. Blue Sky, not so much, but a lot of people who made that leap from X to Threads, it's the same thing. You go from Elon Musk to what's his name, Zuckerberg.
When you click the join button and become a tier 2 member, you get access to all of our weekly top 10 lists. What are you waiting for?